Odinga. But before even we get into that, where are we right now in regards to the petition? Of course, IEBC and President Uhuru Kenyatta actually have just maybe one more day to respond to the claims made by NASA. Do we know if this has happened and where are we at?
Good morning, Betty. Well, pursuant to the timelines that were set for the hearing and determination of the NASA presidential poll petition, the deadline for IEBC, its chairman Wafula Chebukati and President Uhuru Kenyatta, who are the three respondents in that petition to file their responses to the NASA petition, is tomorrow. That, of course, coming 4 days after the official filing of that petition by NASA late last week on Friday. But of course, just yesterday we saw the IEBC present to the Supreme Court all the documents that were used to declare President Uhuru Kenyatta as the winner of the August 8th elections. That was pursuant to the dictates of the Supreme Court Act, which directs the electoral agency to present those documents 48 hours after service with the petition that is before court. And of course, those documents were the over 40,000 Forms 34A, these of course being the ones used to declare the presidential results at the polling station, as well as the 290 Forms 34B, these being the tabulation and the final forms that were used to declare the presidential result at the constituency level, as well as a copy of Form 34C, which was the final declaration of President Uhuru Kenyatta as the winner of the August 8th elections. That form, of course, being used at the Bomas of Kenya. But besides that, we expect perhaps the proper responses from the IEBC, Chebukati, and President Kenyatta in court tomorrow. That, of course, delving not only into the main petition by NASA, but as well as the evidence that has been presented in the various accompanying affidavits that forms the bedrock of the support or the support evidence for the NASA petition. Thereafter, on Friday, then we have the interlocutory application stage. That's the juncture at which any of the parties in that particular petition can make a formal request for any document that they needed but has not been presented. Remember, if the scrutiny of the documents presented by IEBC happen not to feature some of the documents that NASA might have requested for from their petition, then they can make the formal request for that. In the event that there's any party in that particular suit that has not yet received certified copies of the court documents, then they can also make that application then. And then on Friday, that's when we have the pretrial conference, and that's when the rules of the game are to be set among the parties that are participating in that petition to pave way for the official hearing of that petition, the second one under the 2010 Constitution. Betty.
Timurimi, maybe we could talk about the evidence that NASA presented. On Friday, we saw them with bulky annexures of evidence and maybe pleadings that they presented at the Supreme Court. Do we know if they have been able to get all the Form 34A's copies of the Form 34A's to challenge what IEBC has presented so far?
Well, what the IEBC presented yesterday and the CEO, Ezra Chiloba, said as much were the forms that they used to declare the result, the presidential result from the constituency to the polling station, as well as at the Bomas of Kenya. But what now awaits the Supreme Court when the court convenes for that interlocutory application stage on Friday is a scrutiny of those documents. Remember, NASA has in the past and has said as much in the petition that IEBC reportedly manipulated the results in some of these documents that they have demanded for, and therefore perhaps they might be making a request for, be it the hard copies or the soft copies, if any is not there, to make a comparison with what they have on the portal. Remember, NASA has said that the evidence that they have is from the IEBC, largely from the portal, as well as even recordings of clips of what was said by the IEBC officials as at the time of the tallying of the presidential results before the declaration. And therefore, it will be an interesting time for the Supreme Court, because that's when NASA can try to articulate their demands for documents which reflect what they have on their petition, much as IEBC will be defending the authenticity of their documents as the lawyers representing President Uhuru Kenyatta defend his declaration as the winner of the August 8th elections. But besides that, Betty, there are interesting pieces of evidence in the NASA petition, very interesting affidavits, one by an IT expert who also serves as the Secretary General of the ANC party, Godfrey Osotsi, where he does an analysis of the results that were streaming in. There's an allegation that he raises in his affidavit about there having been a predetermined formula for the final result that will be for the IEBC to defend when the matter comes before court. But besides that, there are also two affidavits by persons that allege that they were contracted by IEBC as presiding officers in two polling stations in Mandera North constituency, and they allege that on the date of the election, they were chased away and replaced with strangers. Again, these are allegations that are before court, and of course we will be expecting to see what the IEBC has to say in their responses tomorrow. Betty.
All right, thank you very much, Murimi Mwangi, speaking to us from our City Center studio about just really the status of the NASA petition at the Supreme Court. And we'll be having a conversation here in studio in a few minutes. I will be speaking to Philip Kisia and Dan Manzo. They're already here in studio. We'll be having that conversation and covering so much more that's happening here in the country. So for now, we'll take a short commercial break. We're coming back in a few minutes to continue that discussion. And also, we'd like to hear your feedback on our coverage this morning. Hashtag is Kivumbi 2017. My Twitter handle is @Betty M. Kialo. Talk to me. Let's take that break. Don't go away. I'll be right back.